Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave. I hope everyone had a good weekend. So I was reading on Boxing Scene this morning, and Lucas Matthysse is looking to get back into the ring on February 28th. And possible opponent is Ruslan Provodnikov, okay? Now this is a fight that I brought up in the past that I always wanted to see, and I'll explain why in a minute. I know a lot of people want to see Adrian Broner fight Lucas Matthysse. I've made videos in the past about that fight, okay? And I love that fight. Don't get me wrong, I love the fight. But the reason why I like the Provodnikov fight a little bit more is because I think it's a little bit more predictable. Regardless of who you think is going to win the Broner Matthysse fight, I think it's a little bit more predictable of who's going to win and why. You know, either Broner is going to outbox him, or Matthysse power might be too much for Broner, okay? It's going to either go that way, one or the other, okay? But see, the thing I like about this Provodnikov fight, and this is why I wanted to see it so bad. First of all, I think Matthysse is a very underrated as a boxer, okay? I don't think he's on a level as the other punchers like Keith Thurman or Gennady Golovkin. But I think he's still underrated as a boxer, okay? I think he's a good defender, a solid defender. I don't think he's a slugger. You know, I think people like to, they put him in that same category as the rest of the sluggers in boxing. Like him and Maidana are two totally different fighters. And even though I think Maidana has improved, I still think he's a slugger. You know, he's a big puncher. But I think Matthysse is a better puncher than Maidana, okay? I think he's a better boxer overall than Maidana. I think Matthysse won the fight with Devin Alexander, okay? And Matthysse will try to box with you. He lost the Garcia fight, but I thought he was winning the earlier rounds between him and Danny. I think when he got that swelling over his eye, that's when things changed in Danny's favor. I also think that it was a close fight between him and Zab Judah. I think Matthysse might have edged that fight, but it could have gone either way. To me, I think he beat Devin Alexander for sure. All right, but I think he's a solid boxer, puncher. You know, he's a boxing puncher. Then you have Provodnikov, who is just relentless. He's like a smaller James Kirkland. He's just gonna come at you and keep coming at you. Has terrible defense. If I had to rate his defense from 0 to 10, I would rate him like a 2. Like, he has terrible defense. This is why he lost to Algieri, Bradley, Herrera. But the thing about those fights are, he's always fighting light punchers. He's never fighting big punchers, you know. Even Mike Alvarado is not really considered to be a big puncher, all right? He's never fighting a big puncher. And this is why I want to see the Matthysse fight, because Matthysse has one-punch knockout power. Okay, he's one of the biggest punchers, if not the biggest punchers. He's definitely one of the biggest punchers at 140. Okay, and a lot of these Argentinian guys got a lot of power in their punches. I would like to see Ruslan fight a guy that actually hits hard enough to knock you out. Is he going to be able to walk through Mathisse's punches, you know? And that's why I want to see the fight. Then at the same time, Matthysse is a good boxer, but I don't know if he's as skilled on a defensive level as Chris Algieri, Tim Bradley, and Mauricio Herrera. He's not as good as a boxer as those three, but he's pretty solid. Plus, he has a lot more power than those three. So, in my opinion, that's the reason why I want to see this fight more than the Adrian Broner fight. You know, more than the Danny Garcia rematch. I want to see that Matthysse Provodnikov fight because they are both big punchers. I think Matthysse is the bigger puncher between the two of them because he has like that one-punch knockout power, whereas Provodnikov has a lot of power too, but he's a guy that will beat you and knock you and stop you from accumulation of punches. You know, I don't think he has that one-punch power like Matthysse has at 140. Even though Provodnikov is still one of the biggest punchers in the division, I just think Matthysse has that devastating punching power, you know. So anyway, I would love to see this fight. You know, it's something different from the norm. You know, I've said this before previous in my channel, on my past videos, that I would love to see this fight between the two guys. I don't know why people don't talk about it enough, because I guess they want to see Provodnikov. Provodnikov is over there at top rank, so they wanted to see, like a lot of people say they wanted to see the Brandon Rios fight, okay, before they see the Matthysse fight. I guess it's because it's more possible of happening. But I personally want to see the Matthysse fight, because I want to see Provodnikov, what he does when he fights a big puncher and he can't just walk through somebody's punches. I mean, if he could still be able to walk through Matthysse while getting punched in the face, then he's extremely durable beyond anything we can imagine. But I don't think that's the case. I would like to see Provodnikov fight a bigger puncher instead of fighting feather-fisted punchers. Not saying these guys, you know what I'm saying. I mean, compared to everyone at 140, Herrera, Algieri, and Bradley, they just don't have big punches. I mean, I know Bradley's at 147 now, but even at 140, he just was never considered to be a big puncher, all right? So anyway, let me know what you guys think about the fight. If they were to fight, who would you go for? Do you want to see the fight? Do you want to see it over Broner? Do you want to see it over Brandon Rios Provodnikov fight? All right, and make sure you guys hit subscribe.